Highguards. Today is a very special day. There was the biggest leak we've ever seen for Highguard so far. That's not saying a lot considering that there hasn't been a lot, but this is pretty huge. It confirms a lot of things we've been suspecting for a little bit. But yeah, let's just get into it. What actually happened? Well, we got it was this website here. It tracks trophies or achievements for PlayStation, and those have shown up there. 33 achievements as of right now. This is not necessarily the final amount of achievements. Uh, and but I think there's a pretty good chance it is. Consoles might get a store page soon, which is good. We might even be able to pre-download. I don't know for sure. I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I'm playing it on my computer. But I think the most important thing here is that the game is not delayed, which I've seen a lot of people outside of the circle that I'm in talking about the game that like, oh, the game's gonna be delayed. That's why they're not talking about anything. The game's delayed, like, which that'd be a horrible idea. You know, the game's already ready, and delaying it's not really gonna do anything. So, but before we get into that, there is a Discord for Highguard, not an official Discord. It's one that I created. That we've gathered around 50 people on it as of right now. This is where we've been talking about the leaks since 3 in the morning yesterday. I wasn't up then. I woke up later, but we've been talking about it for a little bit, and a lot of stuff is confirmed now, and we know that on the Discord as of now. So if you want to join, there's a link in the description. I'll put one there. But the first thing I want to talk about from the achievements is that we know that there's 5 classes in the game. We have assault, defensive, recon, support, and destruction. One thing that is kind of a problem. This is a problem a lot of that like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals both have, is that hey, there's a lot of DPS characters and not a lot of other ones. These it's kind of hard to tell the silhouettes here, especially since they aren't like great quality, but this guy in Discord has like put a class to each of the 8 characters we have, and I think some of them are kind of undeniable. Um the defensive recon and defensive and recon are pretty undeniable. I think the rest of them are kind of all of like these down here are pretty undeniable that that's who they are in the screenshot. The top one, the assault class is it's a little bit harder, but one of them is definitely the main character guy. The rest of them, we don't know for sure, but through process of elimination, it's pretty obvious that it's these two. So we, I do know. I haven't played Apex, but I did look this up, and they also have 5 classes, unless I'm remembering wrong. But considering they worked on Apex, like most of them, not most of them, but a lot of them worked on Apex, the Wildlight. That makes sense. I'm hoping we do get more of these classes down here. That was one concern, is that I think having 8 characters is okay, but I think the problem is that the spread of they're spread pretty top heavy between the classes. So, but also this might not be a problem, which we'll talk about later. Why that might not be the case. Uh, We also have through if you download some of the images off the website, they have names on them. Mara for evil lady here, purple lady, or red purple. I think the lighting makes it look purple. I think it's actually, I could be wrong, but and then Atticus for John Highguard. You know, his name's not John, it's Atticus. Um, off topic a little bit from like the leaks. This is also kind of off. This isn't about like the. This was something we found out earlier. I wanted to talk about this though because there was this Blue Sky account for Highguard, quote unquote for Highguard. This was not an official account and it actually got suspended yesterday. So yeah, a lot of people thought this was real. Most of us on the Discord didn't think it was real, and we were right because it got suspended. But yeah, so if you saw it posting like the random crap it was posting, yeah, don't worry, they're not. The community manager is probably not that cringe. I don't know anything about the community manager. Apparently they did other stuff. So, but next thing, we're back to the achievements. We're back to the achievements for the rest of the video. Is soul orbs. We predicted that this would probably be a revive sort of thing, which I think it's basically confirmed that you can revive your teammates from these. We saw this in the trailer, the blue one for your teammate dying, and then you can destroy the red ones as well, which we see that happen like 3 times in the trailer. And now we know you're basically like denying a revive, I suppose. You probably also get like a reward from it, from destroying it, and it's not just canceling the revive, I would assume. We'll talk about what that award might be later, you know. But yeah, it's almost confirmed to be a revive mechanic. I'd be surprised if you couldn't revive your teammates like this. Obviously, you can revive them somehow. So I'm assuming just everyone can do it from the orb. There's a tutorial. Yeah. The big thing, this is the biggest thing here, I think, is that there is an item system of some sort. Now, we don't know how, like, what sort of depth this will have, like, what sort of, like, is it just weapons or like equipment? Is it like grenades or something? Do you think that there's going to be like augments for your abilities, augments for your weapons? You know, like there's a lot that this could be, and there's a lot that we don't know still, unfortunately. But we do know that there's a currency, and apparently you can get a lot of it. So, but yeah, there's the currency is called Vesper here. There's also item rarities, which is a big thing. There's going to be like more expensive items, I would assume. Or there might be a different way to get items, which we'll talk about in the next slide. The ones for legendary, they have like 4 little symbols on them. This either means that the more unlikely thing, I think, is that it is this is like you have 4 slots in your inventory, which you might have 4 slots in your inventory, but like to hold like 4 things. I think more likely this is like 4 stars. So you know, legendary has 4 stars, and then you have like, you know, rare, uncommon, or common, or like epic, rare, and common, something like that. Or like, you know, there could be like 0 star for common, so you have like all of them. But yeah, also like LMG here, destroying wall. We already knew you could destroy walls, but a thing here is iron walls. So I think either some walls will be reinforced by default, or certain characters or just anyone will be able to reinforce walls to make them harder to destroy. And obviously, I think it's either going to be that every character gets a throwing axe, or it's like an assault only thing, or maybe you have to buy it from the shop. Something like that. This might just be like a universal mechanic though, which would be kind of cool. depending on like how powerful it is. If it's like a one shot, that might be kind of a like just like, oh, every character is carrying around this axe that you just throw down like a choke point and it one shots people. Like, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully not that. Hopefully it's powerful enough to like just maybe not that powerful if everyone gets it all the time. But this as well, this kind of goes hand in hand with the item system, is that there are chests. We've been I've been thinking about like, are these chests on the map? Are they just like map geometry? Are they actually interactable? I think they're definitely interactable now with this achievement here. You can see there's two in the trailer here in this middle area. These, I'm not so sure about these. Maybe you can break these. They're like barrels you break for currency, or maybe they're just nothing. They have the Highguard symbol on them, and they're like a brighter color than the surroundings, so it might be something you can break for currency. I'm not sure. Also, on some of the on some of the Steam screenshots, you can see chests as well. There's one back here as well if you look really hard. I'm pretty sure. You know, it's got the same blue color, same like silver outline. Same here. There's one here, maybe one here. But yeah, there's chests everywhere. So obviously, the achievements for opening 15 in a single match. So you're gonna be able to open a lot of them, and this is like a bronze achievement. So you know it's probably gonna be pretty easy to just open 15 chests in a match, I'd imagine. Next thing, objectives. You know what sort of objectives are there? We already saw the generators. We already saw them, but now we know what they're called, and like we know for sure that yeah, you can defuse them, which I think we kind of assumed you can defuse them. It's sort of like a search and destroy system, which is cool. How many generators there are, we don't know, like per like game. Also, these say awarded on match completion. I don't think that means you have to do it in one match. Hopefully, I mean, if you have to destroy like 20 generators in one match, that means there's going to be a lot of them. But I don't think so. Not quite sure about that one. As well, we already saw the shield breaker in the trailer as well, but also dome splitter as well, which, given the language here, I think you can see dome splitter is probably a it's probably like a weaker version of the shield breaker. We don't know like to what extent. Maybe when you activate the shield breaker, it's like permanent. It permanently destroys their base, their like shield, but the dome splitter is like temporary. I think that makes sense. Yeah, maybe dome splitter probably doesn't spawn like the massive siege tower, but shield breaker does, something like that. And yeah, also there's like an overtime mechanic. The shield breaker might be the overtime mechanic as well. It definitely could be. We don't know like when overtime happens, you know. I realize it says wipe the enemy team during overtime 10 times. I didn't realize it says 10 times here. So yeah, I guess overtime might be pretty common, which actually probably isn't the best thing ever, but you know, we don't know what overtime entails yet. And then the last thing here on this slide, win 5 raid mode matches by destroying the enemy base via anchor stone only. We have not seen anything about an anchor stone in anything. My guess is that it's like the heart of the base or something, and you can destroy it directly. Like, it has like a massive health pool or something, and you can just like shoot it. Something like that. You know, I think anchor stone only probably means like no destroying generators. You have to, you know, this is like yeah, one shot, one kill. So Or it could be like a specialized but the name Anchor Stone just makes me think it's like the heart of the base, right? So like maybe you have to destroy like 3 generators or something to destroy the base, or just destroy this directly. But yeah, last thing here, just some random extra stuff. You know, destroying walls. We already knew you could do that. Win a raid mode match under 12 minutes with one member of your team never dying. This implies that if one person on your team gets the achievement, everyone else does, which I think is a little weird, but you know, it's whatever. Use your ultimate power at least 3 times in a single match. You know, you have ultimates. I think we kind of knew you have an ultimate, but yeah. Also, like platinum achievement. I think this. I don't know for sure because I never really messed with console, but I think you just get that. I don't need to explain it. You know if you play on console. I think you just get it for like getting all the other achievements though. And this, you know, complete matches, pretty standard achievements here. The mount thing, we already knew that there were mounts, so I didn't need to make a slide for that. Like, that's like the main point of the game. We already knew you could kill them too, and like kill people while you're on them. So, you know, I just realized I just put like a massive gap in the middle here. I wonder, oh.